This is your midweek Barbados Today evening news update for Wednesday, August the 2nd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. It's business as usual at the Grantley Adams International Airport following the emergency landing of NASA Flight 426 early this morning. In a statement, the Ministry of International Transport revealed that the pilot of the 4-engine P-3 aircraft sent a distress call to local authorities at 6:18 a.m. after one of its engines caught afire shortly after taking off from Grantley Adams. At the time of the incident, there were 20 passengers on board the aircraft, which was undertaking operations on behalf of NASA. According to the statement, after dumping fuel to lose weight, the aircraft successfully landed at 8:31 a.m. and following an inspection, the runway was declared fit for operation. The emergency stand-down was issued at 8:42 a.m. In other news this Wednesday, Tourism Minister Richard Seeley is hoping the Colombia-based Avianca Airlines will soon resume its services to Barbados after being forced to suspend its flights last Friday. Now, the carrier had to curtail flights that require passage over Venezuelan airspace amid ongoing political and other turbulence in Caracas. While he stayed clear of the current problems facing the airline, Seeley pointed out that Barbados has enjoyed a healthy working relationship with Avianca. He noted that the partnership has opened up several new opportunities in the emerging Latin American market. Seeley said his ministry would continue to work closely with Avianca to find viable solutions. Venezuela is facing an unprecedented catastrophe, and Barbados and its Caribbean neighbors cannot afford to turn a blind eye. That's the view of Independent Senator Sir Trevor Carmichael, who addressed the matter in the Senate today during debate on Offshore Petroleum Amendment Bill. Sir Trevor argues that given the long-held tradition of democracy in the region, countries are obligated to speak out, and he believes Barbados has a duty to make its position known.
We have to reconsider our position, because no position cannot, in these circumstances, be a viable position. We have a history of democracy, and we have a commitment to democratic principles and practices. We have a tradition of a foreign policy which is principled and never choosing the easiest question to answer. We have displayed these principles in our own early outright rejection of a flawed Petro-Carib offer. We have a treaty relationship at two levels, which has both promoted and protected investments through the use of Barbados businesses, Barbados business corporations, among other things. So I'm suggesting, Madam President, that we have to put our heads together, and we have to look for a position on Venezuela. If necessary, I suggest we even have to put together a small think tank.
Government says it's moving to make the economy more resilient to fluctuations on the global oil market, even as it proceeds with plans for offshore exploration of the commodity. Government Senator Darcy Boyce told the Senate this morning that there have been recent oil finds in Guyana and in neighboring Trinidad and Tobago close to Barbados' waters, and he is confident that Barbados will also reap some success in its own ventures. Speaking during debate on the Offshore Petroleum Amendment Bill 2017, Boyce said while government seeks to take advantage of oil offshore, it will continue to work towards energy efficiency.
Economies that have built themselves around oil and gas, to the detriment of everything else, have found themselves in considerable difficulty when the price of oil drops. And our neighbor to the south has found itself in that situation now. All economies are driven by oil. The two effects you look for. One is that it raises up the wages of everybody in the economy. And while one is willing to, one wishes to see wages improve, you don't want to go to a stage where other non-oil businesses actually fail because the wages are too high. And that is one of the difficulties you have in natural resource base endowments. You've got to manage them very carefully.
Boyce added that Barbados does not want to become too reliant on oil and gas in a bid to avoid some of the pitfalls of oil.
And we're doing that, Madam President, basically in two ways. One is to try to improve the energy efficiency of the economy, to make sure that we use less energy for each dollar of output that we produce. And secondly, Madam President, to make sure to use our natural resources of sun and wind and biomass to generate electricity rather than having to import heavy fuel oil or diesel for that purpose. Of course, whenever we import those things, we use foreign exchange, and like all small economies, we are a very open economy, where foreign exchange becomes a critical constraint on whatever we do.
To the world of sports now, he is the undisputed superstar of athletics. 8-time Olympic champion Usain Bolt is all ready to line up in the 100 meters on Friday at the World Athletics Championships in London and then compete in the final on Saturday. The legend has been speaking with CNN.
The moment you start doubting yourself, that's when you actually lose. I never doubt myself and my abilities of my coach. So for me, I'm confident I'm going to win.
Are you feeling more or less pressure? Is there a little bit of you that wish you hadn't announced that this was going to be the farewell?
No, definitely not. I look at it just like any other championship. I'm here to compete. I'm here to win as always. I'm coming into this championship prepared and ready to go. So. I mean, it's a
little bit risky though, isn't it? Aiming for...
Risky if you have no confidence. If you have no confidence in yourself, then it's risky.
What is the moment that in your mind you're picturing of the end of your career?
I mean, I don't know the picture, you know what I mean? It's just going home and laying in my bed and actually realizing that this is it. I don't have to train one more day if I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I think that's the moment, that's the thing I'm thinking, just laying in bed looking at the ceiling saying, this is it, you know what I mean, so yeah.
Will there be tears, do you think?
It all depends on how the crowd reacts to me, you know what I mean. If they cheer a lot, then there won't be tears, I'll be happy. But if they react a different way, then it might be a little bit emotional, but I don't think I get emotional until I cry. For some reason, I'm not that type of person.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Good morning, Phillips & Company, may I help? Oh, certainly. One moment, please. Miss Phillips?
Yeah?
There's a lady on the line from the Nation newspaper who would like to speak with you.
The Nation? Wish she go on?
Well, they're trying to sell us some ads.
Look, don't make me laugh this morning. Ads in the Nation? They're real expensive, and for what here, nobody ain't buying them papers no more. Nobody want to steal news. I hear reading Barbados today online for free. So I tell she thanks for calling, but no thanks. We just advertising Barbados today, families. Tell she is Barbados today all the way.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. Mom, are you still there? Oh, she put it down.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Continuing with regional happenings in Trinidad and Tobago, the Atlantic's gas process facility in Point 14 had to be evacuated just before noon today following a leak of one of its liquefaction units. In a statement, the company said once the leak was confirmed, the situation was brought under control within 20 minutes. Following a thorough check by the company's technical team, the all clear was given this afternoon. Further afield now in Minnesota, United States, 2 people are unaccounted for and 9 were hospitalized today after a natural gas explosion shook Minnehaha Academy and caused a section of the building to collapse. Authorities say 3 of the hospitalized were in critical condition and 4 were in serious condition. The patients had fractures and head injuries, but no burns. Assistant Fire Chief Bryant Tyner said the gas explosion was caused by contractors doing work on the building. Eyewitnesses recounted how the incident unfolded.
Heard the blast, felt the windows shake. The dogs were startled and came out 30 seconds later. Saw that where the building used to be one continuous building now had a gap. I could see sunlight all the way through to the other side.
About the time the man sprinting down the street got to the end down here, there was a huge explosion. Smoke went up, knocked most of us kind of back, and it knocked me off my feet and kind of fell back. And then it was just kind of chaos from there.
And that's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.